Hey, Don here. Okay, well, I'm back again doing a live stream, and I'm going to work on my Dell 1525 laptop again, and I really need to get it to where I can use it for probably a week or so as my main machine, I decided, because let me get on my desktop screencast here. Here's my, okay, now this is my Fedora 23 on my Lenovo i5. And it's my main machine that I run all the time, that I use every day. It is a I just call it the Lenovo i5, but it's an MT-M-5067-A1U. That's what it is. It's 2.4 gigahertz or something like that. Intel, a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. But it only has 256 megabyte of on-chip, shared video memory. And that's the only thing wrong, that's not great about it is, like if I'm watching videos on YouTube, I'll have to reboot it after 30 minutes lucky to get an hour or two out of it, and it'll just fill it. What is crazy thing it does is it fills up the memory. Like right now, well, I don't have Firefox even running, but see, OBS does pretty well here, but it does use some, 23% of the CPU, and I believe that's total of all four of them. Memory is good, but when it'll climb and climb, and if I see it up getting up to 800 megabytes, or sometimes I'll look up and it's over a gig of memory use, then I know it's getting ready to lock up the machine, and sometimes it'll just lock up and won't respond, or sometimes it'll just reboot itself. So part of what might be wrong, I have decided, here's my root directory. The Fedora 23 has it has a hidden boot partition that's real small, like 500 megabytes. Then it has your root partition, and then it has your regular user partition. And see, I'm down to 18.3 gigabytes on it right now. And of course, I've got a backup USB backup drive that's big that I just move all these videos over to it. Once the backup is ran, I have automatic backup run every day. And but over here on the root partition, if you go to absolute root, not the root directory, there's the root, we can't get in there, but the root partition, the root of the whole file system, which is on the root partition, not on the same partition as my regular user, there's only 2.3 gigabyte left. And I haven't added any and it was just a few days ago it was 2.6 gigabytes, so it's shrinking just by using the system. So before I know it, it won't work, if I don't do something about it. So I'm trying to get myself together here and do it. And so that's what I'm going to do today, and that's what I'm making a video on. I thought I would show some of the things that I've, and sort of tricks, like when you install Thunderbird, the email application. I don't have it open on here, but I'll show it here in a minute. When you install it, let's see, I'll show I don't want to open it because of just running too many things. That's what it's, Thunderbird. If you're not familiar with it, there's the icon for it, where it's installed on this system. And all my email, I'll show that. Where your directories are, what I'm talking about. Okay, now I'm going to go into that's themes. Okay, there, Thunderbird. Okay, now in here you have your profiles. That's the one. See, the one I have it organized by the newest on top, so it's been used today, and that's another reason why I don't want to open it, because I just got it backed up while it was closed. It doesn't matter a lot. You're not going to ever get them identical, but okay, so what I'm going to do is copy that profile over. Once I first install Thunderbird just like normal, and then I'll copy this profile over there. And see, what you'll end up with is two profiles. This is the default, it says default. Well, they both say default because they were both built by Thunderbird. They were the default profiles, but this one hasn't been used since 2.3.16. And I never try to get into, it used to be an easy way to switch profiles. I don't really like to do that. I just want to use the same one. But anyway, you can copy your old profile over to another machine, and you'll have all your setup, all your email, everything will be there, So, and all your backups of things, your add-ons, all that stuff will be there. So that's what I'm going to do. And what you do have to do, let's see, where is that? Properties. You have to change and tell which one's the default profile. Let's view that. Profile. Okay. Path OPMDZ415 default. See that one there. That's all you have to do because it was originally saying that. So you just edit that profiles INI file. I never remember seeing an INI file in a Linux app, but that's usually Windows. You know, it's usually config CONFG or CONFIG or something like that. But anyway, you've got to edit that, and it's real simple. All you do is just change all you do is change that part right there. You know, .default. And so that's what I'll be doing. And so let's get the laptop's not booted up yet. I just left it sitting there ready to boot up. So I'm going to get it booted up. You can see me in the screen there as usual. And I did change the resolution on this one camera that points at the laptop, because at the times like this one, only way I can show it is with the camera. I'm hoping it'll be almost legible anyway. You know, when I'm trying to have to do that. Hopefully I'll be able to use remote desktop. Last time I tried to use it, it kept lagging and it wasn't usable. It lagged so bad. It wasn't refreshing. I don't know if it's going to be any better or not. So I thought, well, I'll try to get to. I don't want to use up too much of my network bandwidth and have trouble with my routers causing lag with my video. So I don't want to go up too high. Let's go ahead and show what I'm talking about here. I made screenshots of it. Well, let's go ahead and get that. Let's boot it up, so I'm going to get logged in first. Let's see. This is so new, I don't remember the password and everything yet. I am starting to remember. Yeah, you can't read that at all, can you? Okay. You have to, in Debian, you have to type in your username first and then your password. And I am not used to that. So I'm used to just, you know, when you log into Fedora, which is the machine I use, the operating system I like the best and been using since 2005, every day, all day. I'm used to it, and you know, it puts the cursor in your password field, and your name is there in a little, you know, little graphic thing. You don't have to. It's not changeable. You know, I mean, well, you can. It's a drop-down list. You can't change it if you have other users on there, but you can even log in as root. But anyway, that's what I'm used to. And I'm trying to remember all these ins and outs here, but so it's all booted up, and so let me go back to the desktop one more time before I get straight into the laptop here. Go to my downloads folder. That just happens to be where I put these screenshots. I made them a while ago, but I was talking about zooming in. Zoom in on that. Talking about zooming in. Okay, 1200 by 720. That's the closest I would dare get it. I didn't look like I was going to be able to move you can see the camera there. You move it back. I don't have enough room on my keyboard tray. That's a keyboard tray in my rack over there. I don't have enough room to move it back anymore, because it actually, when you get a higher resolution, it has the effect of it's like it's zoomed in too. So hopefully it'll be a little clearer. And like I said, the bandwidth, I don't want to try to over stress my bandwidth. I had it on 720 by 480, which is pretty low the resolution these days. You know, that's pretty much the old TV resolution, and I think that's exactly what it is. But anyway, I'll go ahead and try remote desktop. Let's see. Let me go ahead and switch. Well, actually, why don't I just get remote desktop opened up here? If I can do it on remote desktop, that's what I want to do. You know, I tried. Let's try a different. It might be faster. Remote let's see, which one was it? Oh, the Tiger VNC viewer. Okay, now I've got it up. That should be the right IP address. But first I have to open that KRFB app. I think I just opened the Crusader. Go ahead and show what it is I'm doing here. No, not that one. This one. Okay, so does that show what I want to show? Yeah. Yeah, I accidentally opened up Crusader. I think I'll close it because I may not need it just yet. May have to get the yeah, I'll have to. Well, no, maybe I can look through the let's see. Oh yeah, it's being the internet stuff, I think. Yeah, there it is, KRFB. So if I open that up, let's see. Okay, I got to type in I went ahead and made my password for the K wallet one time when I was not making a video, so I have to look and see what it is. Okay. Ah. Okay, I think I got it that time. And I don't know why it disables desktop sharing. Let's switch over to a little bit closer view. It had disabled desktop sharing there. And so I had to enable it up here. So yeah, it's quite a lag. It's really freaky when I watch what I'm doing on my previews, what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back on this desktop and the laptop combination. And let's try to log it in and see. Before I even try it, I'm gonna look and see what that password is. Okay, let's see. Sometimes it wants to let me log in one way and then another. Okay, so with that one, I don't think it will work. This particular viewer won't work with the unattended password. You got to use the attended. I've already forgotten. Yeah. No, it's not working at all. I'll try this other app. I don't know why it's not working. I may have lost my passwords, but let's see. If this app works, I'll just use it and see if it works. And of course, my IP address could be wrong. Well, no, it was answering and asking for a password. Could have been just typing it wrong. Okay, try one more time. What's it doing? Okay, well, let me do this. I don't know why. This is a really strange problem that shouldn't even be happening. Every time I shut this KRFB down and go back to it, it's not keeping my password. It's not keeping my settings. So I'll have to. What you got to do? What I do, I prefer to use it unattended anyway, so I don't have to fiddle around with. Oh, it's changed that little password. Yeah, it didn't save my one I made. It's back to an auto-generated password. But I would rather use the unattended anyway. It looks like, I guess it's blank, or else it blanks it every time you open it up. I'm reaching way up there to try and... Okay, now let's go ahead, and since I had trouble every time I use this one, I'll try that. I just had a... Okay, I have just a couple on there. Remote desktop. I haven't tried TeamViewer on it. Will TeamViewer run on that? It might run on Debian. I'm not going to try it right now, though. But if I have trouble, I could try that. Okay, now. There we go. Okay, so it does work with the unattended. Now, maybe it seemed pretty quick and seemed to be working pretty well last time I tried it. So, and you can close that and it'll stay running in the background, that KRFB. So if this works well, then we won't have to fool around trying to, using the camera and all that stuff. The only thing is what am I on? Okay, let's get on the desktop screencast. Yeah, I was telling you all about it, but not showing you all about it. Okay, so here we are. This is Tiger VNC. Now, first thing we're going to want to do, is look at the, why is the terminal? It's moved on me. A little terminal link is in the wrong place. System. I don't have the system app up here in my quick. Let's see. Oh, probably because I don't have the one I want installed. Yeah, Mate System Monitor. Okay. Yeah, that's not the one I want to use all the time. But this is Debian 8.8. And the kernel, let's see, 3.1.6. That's an older kernel. Yeah, okay, make sure. Let me open that Mate System Monitor up in here and see. I think I'm on a newer kernel. There it is. 4.8.13, see? So, and I've already done my first update. I guess Debian stays on an older kernel. I mean, that's okay, because I don't think it'll be any kind of security issue or anything, I don't believe. I've never heard of any problems, really hardly ever hear any problems with security issues with Debian or anything. So, but yeah, this laptop has, I'm running the Mate desktop right now. It runs good, so I probably won't need to. I like the Mate desktop the best. Could use XFCE if your system doesn't, run well enough. It makes some difference, but it was running so poorly on Fedora 25. I had that on here already before with Mate desktop. I thought I didn't even try XFCE. I just went to Debian because I knew it was going to run a lot better, and it does. It's really a lot faster. And since I want to watch video on it, mostly I want it to have plenty of headroom, from power-wise. So it's 2.8 gigabytes of memory. It's a 2 gigahertz processor, Core 2 Duo. It's only a dual core. And right now with this brand new install, it's got 96 gigabytes free space, so that's a good thing. So, let's see. So what we'll do, that's your, the Mate System Monitor is good. It's just that, see, this one here that I like, mostly what I like to do is see if something's giving trouble, like say, Mate. That's everything to do with the Mate desktop that's running, and you can do that so quickly. Or if you're looking for a specific app, you can do it so quick. And also it uses a lot. This one here is called, this is KDE System Monitor. And even though the KDE desktop is pretty heavy on the resource usage, a lot of their apps are not. And so, right there, KDE System Monitor. But, so that's the one I like to use because Mate System Monitor actually uses quite a bit of resources. We'll switch over here to where you can see, where is it? Mate System Monitor. It's using... see, it doesn't count. The other one comes up and shows you the change, what it is in megabytes when you do that. But sometimes the CPU usage, see, the CPU usage is 6%. Just running out of Mate System Monitor, and I like to leave my System Monitor running all the time, so you can't with this one. So anyway, I haven't installed KDE. I don't have really any KDE apps on here. I really haven't installed much of anything. So that's one thing, is I'm going to have to install everything one at a time in Debian. I don't really think I have. I mean, I might be able to do a few group installs that are made for Debian, but I don't have any scripts or anything that I've ever made, really. The only one I have that's very old, and I'm sure most of the apps wouldn't work and it would just hang up, is when I built my first Artist X system. I think it was at Debian. Yeah, Fedora 9. I had trouble with it. There was some bugs in it, and I couldn't get it running right. So I went to Debian, and it was the first build of Artist X, and you had to build it yourself on Debian etch and a half. And that's how I learned how to build an install script. Actually, you don't have to build a script. You can just copy and paste all the names of the apps with a space in between them into the terminal and hit enter, and they'll start installing them. But if there's any one app that's not there or anything in Debian in the apt package manager, then it will just hang up and won't run. And that list was good. You know, everything ran. And Fedora, you could use, with Yum, you could use skip broken. And then when they first came out with DNF, you couldn't. Make sure I'm still on my desktop. They didn't have skip broken, but now they do. I read about that the other days, and so I could use my scripts again, and I may start doing that. When I'm going to build on this system here, when I'm working on here, I'm going to put Fedora 25 or maybe even 26 on it by the time well, it's still in beta. I'll probably go with 25 as long as I get it done here in the next few weeks. It's fixing to come out. 26 is, but we'll see. But so anyway, what I want to do, yeah, it's a little slow there at responding, but you know, if it'll work, then I'll go ahead and use it. Let's see, where it is. Yeah, I don't have a desktop search on here yet. I'm like, where's my desktop search? I don't have it installed yet. But I do install. I might just install the whole XFCE desktop just to have all the functionality of that. I hit the search. But right now, I want to just trying to get to Synaptic. There we go, Synaptic. Okay, where is my? Okay, and while I'm letting that load up and everything, I'm going to go ahead and open up my Firefox. I did go ahead and sync Firefox. Well, it's not working very good though, is it? I did go ahead and sync Firefox with, you know, I don't sync my bookmarks because I lost a whole about 3 months worth the last time I did it, a year or two ago now. So I had quit using. I read a bunch of stuff right before that, and people having trouble. I thought, well, I haven't had any trouble, and then boom, the next update with Firefox, I lost everything. Yeah, pretty much everything. I mean, the reason I lost, I hadn't manually backed it up in a month or two or three, and so I lost. I was able to restore my manual backups, but anyway, I only use the sync the other stuff that I want to sync, you know, like add-ons and stuff. But what am I going for? I want to go to YouTube, and it's like I'm going to have this running as long as it doesn't overtext the machine. I'm going to let it sit here and run. Yeah, live now, so I'm still live, but I want to be able to see my. I thought I had everything on here. Oh, there's something really strange here. I won't go to that. Where's my? I need to get to my. I guess I have to go to my channel and all that stuff. I'm trying to get to my live dashboard thing. I was like, why is that advertisement playing? I'll use AdBlock Plus, but I just remembered AdBlock Plus said it wasn't compatible. That's another thing that might be that's another thing I need to do. Yeah, I better write it down because I've already forgot it several times. Where's my piece of paper? Note to self. Well, let's get to my live dashboard first. Video Manager. Live streaming. That's what it's called. I think at the top, when I get there, I think it says live dashboard. I guess it doesn't call it a dashboard. I guess I just call it that. Okay, so we're live and we got good health and everything. I don't want it playing though. That will overwhelm the machine, even this one, I'm sure. Okay, yeah. Oh, there's Okay. There's a friend of mine saying hello. I better try and answer here. Oh, now it's not gonna. It's not gonna. Well, hi, Kelly. I can't get this business to work here. I don't know if you're still there. I don't know when, and it doesn't tell you when somebody says something. So, there we go. Oh, right. Script's not working. Stop script. So I don't know. Yeah, this is an older version. I was going to say this is an older version of Firefox, and the only way I'm going to be able to run the newer version is by doing basically a portable install, not an install. You just run it in portable mode. You just download the newest version, unzip it to a folder, and run it from there. That's what I've been doing on my Fedora 23 system for a long time now, and just set it to automatically update itself, and it'll always be updated. But yeah, you don't know when they say it. And I usually always miss it with. Whoops. So yeah, it's pretty hard to chat on here with a small screen like that. But yeah, I wanted to see. I can hear my fan on my laptop running a little harder. So if I'm going to be installing apps and everything, I think I'll close the web browser, and I'll just have to use the web browser on this machine to check in and see what's going on. I can't leave it open on this machine either because it will. I can't monitor my feed all the time because it will fill up the memory and lock this machine up. YouTube, and I think it's this ever since I went to HTML5, I thought it was going to be relief from the horrible Flash that's plagued me all these years. Turns out it's really seems to be big now. After it's been out a while, it seems to be using more resources than Flash even. I mean, you shouldn't have trouble with a quad core with 4 gig of RAM. That's nothing fantastic, but it's definitely not the worst machine ever, you know. So, especially, you know, like even Fedora 23, well, it's not too bad on the resources. It's definitely way easier uses a lot less resources than like Windows 7, you know. So, because I have this machine, this Lenovo i5, the one I'm showing right now. It is a dual boot machine. I don't really ever use Windows, but I'm going to take it off too. Since I don't use it, I'm just going to keep one machine with Windows on it. Well, I've got an old laptop with XP on it for like using OBDI on the car and stuff, but it won't run anything newer than that anyway. Well, it has Debian and Windows XP, and then I've got one other machine that's got nothing but Windows 7 on it, and I just remote desktop into it whenever I want to use it. And so, anyway, hi Kelly. I don't know I guess you're gone, so maybe I don't know if you come back, I guess I'll go ahead and. So, I'll just put a note on there. Can't monitor my stream all the time. It uses up too much memory. Okay, that's what I end up having to do sometimes when people. A lot of times somebody does say something to me, and they'll go away, and then maybe they'll come back later and say something again. You know, answer me. So let's see. Yeah, okay, nothing's on there but what I said now. Yeah, I can't really leave it. Let's see. See, it's already up to 610 megabytes, 618. It's just steadily climbing, and it's really not that slow at climbing. And it's this page that does it. There's scripts on this page that just eat up memory. And yeah, it does it on Windows too. It's not just Linux. So, okay, so Matter of fact, the best I've seen OBS Studio, it's OBS Studio run is on this Fedora 23 system. Now, a dual core, I never did really get. Really couldn't handle it. Although that was an older version and it did use more resources. The newer version of OBS is really the best I've seen of any streamer I've tried. I've tried 3 or 4 altogether. And the rest of them really didn't work well enough to use. So anyway, back to my Debian 8 system here on the remote desktop. I gotta pay attention. Okay, I'm on my desktop and I'm looking at the remote desktop. Okay. Thunderbird. Okay, so Thunderbird is my favorite email client application. I've been using it over 10 years. I've been using it, I guess I started in 2005 when I discovered Linux. Oh, and by the way, that just reminds me, Callie's husband, Bruce, they're both friends of mine from way back. I've known them since like 1990 or 92, before they got married. Bruce is the one that got me into Linux. They're both programmers. And I mean, they can run circles around me with computer stuff, both of them. And anyway, Bruce, I was, I had really gotten into Windows and everything. Starting in 98, I really started getting into computers when I got on the internet. That's what got me really into it. And 1998. And after a few years, I'd learned quite a bit about, 98 and XP. And one time he just mentioned, actually first he mentioned FreeBSD. And I had downloaded 10 gigabytes. This is back on a dial-up connection, AOL dial-up. I downloaded 10 gigabytes off their server because I didn't know what I was supposed to get, and I thought, oh, well, I'll get it all, everything I need. I didn't know it was going to be that much. I let it run for 3 or 4 days, and day and night. I kept the phone line tied up. Or I think what I did is I would go to bed with it. Yeah, I went to bed with it running, and then I would, unhook, get off the phone line during the day, except for when I was, on the internet. But anyway, I never could figure out how to install it or do anything with it. There wasn't. If there was a lot of instructions, I couldn't find them. But then within less than a year from then, probably 6 months, he told me about, well, maybe you should try Linux, and I was like, what's that, Anyway, I looked it up, and I found it was Fedora 5, but it was a remix called Blag, B-L-A-G, Blag Linux. And it was everything, including the kitchen sink. There's actually an app called Kitchen Sink. And, boy, I loved it. I've never gone back since. So, anyway, Thunderbird. So let's see. Now a lot of this stuff has come up here. And this is the default app manager, application install and uninstall application for Debian. It's called Synaptic. I've mentioned that before, but I'll mention it again. I really like it. Actually, I used to run it on Fedora when it used to work on Fedora. It won't work on Fedora anymore. But so I'm not as familiar with it now. I forget, because I'm used to using Yum and DNF and everything. But anyway, it's really handy. It's got the search, nice search, and a lot of nice features. But so anyway, I just searched for Thunderbird and see I got all these things are related to it, But and sometimes there it is. I'm going to say sometimes things that are made. Mozilla is who makes Thunderbird, the Mozilla Foundation. And they make Firefox. They're the ones that build it, develop it, and everything. Sometimes they will start the name of their app with Mozilla so-and-so, like Mozilla Firefox, I think is how you got to find Firefox. I mean, that's where it'll be in the alphabetical order. Thunderbird is just Thunderbird. So that's good. So I'm going to install Thunderbird. Oh, and it's going to install Lightning. That's the calendar deal. I like that. I use it all the time. It has reminders and everything. I don't think I'm going to need to select any of this other stuff. If I do find that there's something missing in the add-ons or anything, most of the add-ons are separate little .xpi files that you install in the app. Yeah, all this other stuff, that's languages and stuff. So yeah, I don't see anything. Some apps you do need to kind of look through and go ahead and get, but it's usually kind of safer to, yeah, there's Lightning. It added that automatically. safer to go ahead and just do the install, and then if there's any, because any important dependencies will automatically be added by Synaptic or Yum or DNF, whichever version of Linux you're in. So I'm going to hit apply, and it'll tell you to be installed, and you can look at that if you want. Sometimes it's a pretty long list, and it's going to be, this is not a small app, it's 109 megabytes. Oh wait, no, it says 109 megabytes of space will be used, but 36.6 have to be, okay, yeah, so the compressed files will be, the deb files will be 36.6 megabytes, but it's going to end up using 109 megabytes of space once it's installed. And that's also the Lightning, app. And you can do that if you want to see like a little report of what's going on. And if there's a whole bunch of apps, I don't usually do that because it bothers my eyes if I'm sitting there watching it. And you can tell it to automatically close after it changes, but I like to see the reports. Like if there's any problems, you want to know that, And if it just closes, you want to know if there was a problem. So I don't really ever check automatically close. Oh, and the details, changes applied. Well, I didn't. There's the details. It's a little terminal window telling you. It's not one you can work in, but it's just like a read-only terminal window, It shows you what's going on. So, yeah, so Bruce and Carrie, thanks for getting me into Linux. Love it to this day. 11 years later. So, let's see. Now, there's Thunderbird. Yeah, I wish I could leave that so I could quickly look back at my feed, but I really can't. So, guess I'll just continue on. Okay, so Thunderbird's installed. Now, what I need to do is okay. So my Seagate backup drive is plugged into my Fedora system right now. So I'm going to unplug it. Yeah, it's not in the middle of a backup or anything. And I'm going to plug it into the laptop. I'm going to probably have to get up from here to do that. Let's see. Not that it matters all that much, but starting to think, well, I could grab my handheld, but let's see. Why not? See if we can make a shaky cam video here. Okay, so you won't be able to hear me when I move away from my mic, but there's the laptop over there, and here's my cable going down to the drive. Well, my drive is up here, actually, behind the phone. The lights went out because I unplugged it. It automatically powers on when you plug it in. So. That hurt. Okay, so go back to the desktop and let me get situated. And yeah, back on our desktop. Okay, so of course most everybody knows how to plug in a USB, but heck, if somebody finds this video and they don't know what I'm talking about, then I guess no point in not showing it. Okay, so Thunderbird's installed. I'm just gonna go ahead and close Synaptic for now. And there's the Seagate expansion drive. It's mounted up. As soon as I plug it in, it mounts up there on the laptop. So now it's already backed up, my Thunderbird profile. So let's go home. And should be in there already, unless it's different. Uh-oh, it may be different. It could be different in Debian. I'm not seeing Thunderbird in my home Don directory there. Could be that I may have to reboot, but usually when you install an app, you don't have to reboot. Oh, I know what it is. I just need to open up Thunderbird. I was always thinking that it's best to not open it up. I'm starting to have trouble with my remote. I may have to try installing TeamViewer. My remote desktop is not working. Look at that. It's not, I mean, it's working over there, but it's not refreshing the screen. And that's weird because the first couple of times I used it on here, it worked perfectly. And last time I had trouble, I rebooted my routers and all that junk. And sometimes my routers just get the cache and everything gets full in them, and I have to reboot them. But I rebooted them like yesterday, so they should be all right. I thought about it before I started, and I thought, well, heck, sometimes when you do that, you just cause trouble. But last time I went ahead and rebooted the router when I was making a video, and I went and did it while I was in the video, and it didn't help. So I don't know why I'm having trouble. I'm going to go ahead and close this. It's not any better. This Tiger VNC is not working any better than the other one that I like better anyway. So let's try this other one. See if that'll work. I could try can't type and talk at the same time. I could try TeamViewer. It might run on Debian. It works pretty fast. On Windows, it's the only one that will work well on Windows. Okay, so now we're back in there. Now let's see if we can. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, Thunderbird has no profile folder yet. So I think. Okay, now it's working. Maybe it'll work for a while. Should have Thunderbird under Internet. There it is. Let's open it up and see if it makes me a folder. If not, the only thing else I can do is, well, I'll reboot before I go looking around for it in the root folders and stuff. Because I don't root directory. I don't think that would help. This is what happens when you open up Thunderbird. You know, would you like to make a new email address? And even gives you a place you could get one, or you can skip and use existing email, and which is what I want to do. Skip and use existing email. Well, I'll do that because this is what you would do if you didn't have a profile that you're gonna, copy over there. You'd put in your present email address. I always use like my email address instead of just my name because I have several. I have like 5 different email addresses. Anyway, and you would just follow this wizard, and I'm not going to do that because I'm going to import my profiles. So let's see. Whoops. Wrong Thunderbird. Wrong Crusader window. Yeah, there it is. Okay, Thunderbird. Okay, so what I want to do though, I want to go ahead and close it because you don't want to do this profile, copying files into the Thunderbird folders while it's running. So yeah, just remember to open up Thunderbird. Now see, it has a default profile, but that's not the one I want to use because it doesn't have anything in it. And so I'm going to go over here and get on my backup drive. And got to find my, I think I'll go by, well, no, it's probably better to go by alphabetical order after all. Okay, so I want to find my, oh, okay. There it is right there. Backup Lenovo i5. Make sure I'm still, yeah, okay. And I'm going to go to Thunderbird. It's these folders for the applications. They're, oops, I messed up. Dadgum. So if you get out of your, if you keep hitting the error key without thinking, and get plumb out of where you're at, you can media. Let's see, in Debian it's in media, I think. Yeah, Don Seagate expansion drive. It's not in. That's where all Linux distros used to be, or Fedora and Debian were. Now Fedora's all different. I won't go into that right now, but Lenovo i5. Now, what I was trying to do when I mistyped something, in Crusader, you can just start typing and it'll go straight to that directory if you haven't figured out what I'm doing. It looks like I have 2 instances of Crusader running. I sure do. Let's close that extra one. Okay, Thunderbird. Now I do want to, it's easiest to, let's see, 62017. Yeah, the other old profile, I don't want that one. 2316. I want this one. Now all I want to do is just copy it over. And it's pretty big. It's going to take a little while. Should have, I don't know if it'll tell me up here or not. Let's see. Yeah, 14.7 gigabyte. I got a lot of emails in there. And see that at first I thought I'm not going to do that on this laptop. I'm just going to use webmail, just use my Gmail account only and just go there. But now that I realize I may have to run this laptop as my main machine for a week or two while I'm building up my new Fedora machine, I'm going to go ahead and get all the stuff I actually need. Plus, if I really did take it somewhere, I would want to have the important stuff like that with me, you know. So let that copy over. Now, the profiles INI is going to be pointing to that default profile that's in there. I'll just hit the view button. Now, if you're going to edit it, you hit the edit button. It'll open it up in a viewer. Yeah, and I see it shows DWSIZ right there. And I'm thinking, let's leave that open for a minute. Let's look at the default profile over here. I may be able to just copy this one over and overwrite the old one. Let's see. I think probably can. See if we can get them both up at the same time. Oh, no, you can't get them both up at the same time, but you can switch back and forth. So, yeah, this one is OPDMZ15, which is that one there that I'm copying. Okay, and then yeah, DWZ. So I don't think there's any difference. This, you know, as the versions change, you know, those files could, the layout might change a little bit, but oh, okay. I put a note. Now see, if you put a number sign, what the kiddies today call a hashtag, which I don't know why they call it that. It's a number sign. But I wrote a note to myself. The old original one was, you know, and yeah, 5 run. Okay, so it's really pretty easy to edit these. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to wait till it's done. Actually, you don't really have to wait till it's done, except for I need to go into edit in order to do that. But yeah, I'll leave this open because what I want to do is copy that. Now I'm going to go back, and on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and edit. I'll show you how it's simple. Edit, and it'll open it up. It's what it's using is TeamViewer. Let's see, by default, which is, it's not starting to not work good again. I was going to look at the it doesn't show the anyway, TeamViewer is what it's calling it. KWrite is my favorite text editor. TeamViewer, I think, is just like a smaller version of KWrite. So yeah, DWise. Let's see. Let me get back in these. Oh, okay. This one's open. It says editing, and these say viewing there. So yeah, DWise. So I couldn't edit that one. That's why I did that way. Actually, I think I'll close this one, and I just have the viewing of the one I'm getting my text from, and then the other one. So actually, what I could do even is do it this way. Yeah, let's go over here and do it this way. I'm going to copy that whole line. Okay, now. Okay, now I'm going to go down in front of that line and put they've just about trained me. I'm starting to call it hashtag. Except for, I think, just to make sure that doesn't interrupt the flow of things. It shouldn't, but I'm going to, well, let's leave it alone. I think it's going to be fine. If I have any trouble when I open it up, I will Let's do this. Yeah, leave it like that. I know I'm going around and around. It tells the number sign. They call it commenting it out. So when it's commented out, then it will be ignored. So, but that tells me that's the original. There, original is or was. Okay, so once that copying is done, it's at 57% now. It'll be ready. When I open up Thunderbird, it'll be ready to go. And let's kind of triple check my work here. Okay, this is the one from my Lenovo i5 machine. The one that goes, this is the profile that I'm copying over. I don't know if you can read it up here or not. You really can't. But that's the profile I'm copying over. And so this is edited, and that's all you got to do. And see if you copy and paste and you don't get anything wrong, you know, because if you're not a ninja programmer like Callie and Bruce, then you have to copy and paste because you're going to mess things up. Now, programmers amaze me, you know, people like that can just type all that stuff, foreign languages, basically, accurately. I mean, I'm sure they make mistakes and have to fix them, but and Bruce has told me before that a lot of his coding, he was last time, I don't know what he's working in now, maybe the same thing, but he was doing coding for custom remotes, you know, for these high-end audio video systems, and he was doing he was hacking the commode, he was hacking the code for these custom AV systems. So for a living, so getting paid for it. And I really don't. Carrie was she was doing. I don't know what she's doing these days, but she was actually developing new. This is a long time ago. She was developing new code. She was at the forefront. You know, you see. Like it's on YouTube now. You see the links that you can click on and it'll take you somewhere to buy something. She was in the forefront of developing that, but she was developing it really for smart TVs when really they hadn't come up with the term smart TV yet. But anyway, stuff comes to my mind sometimes. All right, yeah, it's getting close. 12 gigabytes now. See, that drive works pretty well. It's pretty fast, and that's all. You know, this laptop doesn't have USB. I think maybe it's USB 2.0. If I have anything with USB 3 on it, it would be. I don't think this Lenovo i5 does either. Maybe that ASRock motherboard has one port that's USB 3 on it. I don't know. I don't have anything that. The Seagate expansion drive would do USB 3. That's the first thing I've ever had that would do it. So, never had any reason to even think about it. Okay, so getting close. And I'm trying to think what. Let me look at my list. Okay, Thunderbird. We can start checking that off here in a minute. We'll make sure it works first. Oh, Skype. I want to put that on here. Wi-Fi driver. That'll be important if I ever take it out. If I ever want to take it out of the house. That's going to take some terminal work. I'm going to have to copy and paste some code. I don't know why I can't say code today. Copy and paste some code from the websites I've found that has all that. So I think I'll go ahead and I think it's about done. Yep. We'll go ahead and open up Thunderbird first. I was fixing to go open up Firefox again, and while it's finishing, just because this is 99% doesn't mean it's going to finish instantly. When you're doing big files, they might take longer than you think. So I'll go back to my normal web browser here in my regular system. Check in on my live stream. And it's taking a while to go there. Try that again. It must not have, I must have missed it when I clicked on it or something. There we go. Okay. Definitely better to go on my main computer here in order to check my live stream, because let's pause it. It's all working. Okay. Because I can see the chat and everything. I can actually type, can see the area where you type at the same time as what people are saying, you know. When you're doing it like that on a remote desktop, the screen is so small. Because I think it's only like 1024 by 768 is the biggest you can, it will even let you do, you know. And if it was, well, if it was any more than that, I don't think I'd have the network bandwidth. Like I was saying before, all my routers are old and they only do 100 megabits on wired. The only one I have that's a gigabit router is, I have one. But anyway, that laptop's not on it. I got more machines than I got router ports, so I have to use 3 routers in here. I don't run them all at the same time, but you know, when you want to turn them on, you want them hooked up. You don't have to crawl back behind the rack or somewhere to plug them up. So it's finished. All right, now I want to get out of, go back here, just go somewhere else besides that folder, just so I don't want to, you know, get myself turned around and mess up a file on my backup drive. So let's go over here and let's find Thunderbird. I'm going to go ahead and put it, add to the panel, right click on it like that. You can do that in Mate. You have to do it a little differently in some other desktops. Then hit move. And as long as they're not locked down, like if you right click on it and say lock the panel, then you can't drag them around like that. But I just leave them like that. I like to have everything else locked in place. But open up Thunderbird and let's see if it brings in everything like it should. If it doesn't, if it has any trouble with not bringing in that new profile that I copied over, then it's taking a while, so it's probably going to work. Then I will know that I need to go and move that line that I commented out on down to the bottom. It didn't hurt anything in the other one, so I know it can be there. Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be all right. Yeah, I see it. It's checking mail right there. So send later. Check out my, okay. Looks like it updated the send later add-on. Yeah, see, it's even got my add-ons. So that's really awesome. It takes a while to set all this stuff up. So yeah, there we go. I'm just going to flip through and see that it looks like everything is ready to go. Yeah, okay. I thought it hadn't switched. It happened so fast that thought it wasn't working. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 email addresses in Thunderbird. Well, 4 profiles in there, but there's 2 or 3, 4 emails that come into this main inbox here. Different email addresses. So 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 altogether. Yeah. Why do I need that many? I have no idea. It just happened over the years. I actually do use, you know, like Gmail for only certain purposes, and AOL for basically just like if you want to sign up for something, you know they're going to junk mail you and spam you, then I use that. And Yahoo I really don't use hardly at all anymore. But so there we go. I'm just going to let that run for a little bit, and actually I'm going to leave this thing like it would be if I was really, you know, using it for normal, and see how it does. Right now it's quiet as a mouse. It's not getting hot and running the fan. I can always tell when that thing's working hard because that fan gets loud and it actually rattles when it goes really fast. Hadn't broke yet, but okay, we can check that off the list. Now, Thunderbird installed, and all my profiles are in there. Yeah. Cool. That was actually pretty easy because I actually remembered how to do it. Sometimes I forget all the little steps. And Skype, I want to look for Skype. Actually, I want to look for what is it? TeamViewer. I was able to install TeamViewer on Fedora straight out of the repos. Oh, and well, let me tell you, I actually want to do that. Oh yeah, I've already done that. See, my home pages are all the way I want them and everything. Okay, go into the help and go to about Firefox. Okay, let's see what version we have. Oh, now it's gonna delay again. So I may have to, yeah, 40. You can barely see it, but it's version 45.9. Okay, now let me go over here and open it up in my regular Fedora machine, and this is the one I'm running. It's not really, like I said, portable mode. You might call it. It's kind of is. You could. I mean, it's kind of the basic same thing you would do when you run things in what they generally call portable mode. I always call it standalone mode, but it's not installed. It's just, you see, 54.0. That's the newest version, and this automatically updates itself. And if you go into the preferences and you go to advanced, I believe it is, and go to update, automatically install updates. You can do that. I don't think you can do that in Fedora's normal version. As a matter of fact, let's look right now. I still have the other version on here, the one that in Fedora installs from the repos. It stays a little behind, and that's why I ended up doing that. Okay, now if I go here and to that icon, that'll open it up. And we'll compare. It's going to be newer than, I'm sure it's newer than the Debian version. Debian focuses on being stable, so they stay a little behind. They don't try to use the cutting edge apps just as soon as they come out. They wait for them to work out the bugs. So that's a good thing and a bad thing both for me. So let's go to about, this is 50.1. Well, what's it doing? Making a liar out of me? Huh. 50.1.0. It's never done that before. Okay, listen. No, see, this is where it says, that's the icon I put on the desktop. Let's open that up. Maybe it's finally caught up. That's really weird. That may tell me something here. Made a liar out of me, looks like. Or unless I just can't remember what I just looked at, which is not uncommon for me. 54. Okay. 54.0. That's what it is. I just didn't remember. Can't open them both up at the same time to compare them. It would jack things up because they're both using the same profile directory. So yeah, 54.0, and that was 51.1. Okay, so and then over here on and see, this is way older, 45.9. Now I'm going to have to do something about my remote desktop. It's not really. Maybe the machine. I do hear the fan running on the machine. Maybe it's because I got too many apps open. So let's close down everything but what I really want to open. Actually, I think all the mail's been checked in Thunderbird. That's good enough. I mean, it'll keep. Only thing I don't like is all these up here. That's actually why they're separate. Is their IMAP? They're set up for IMAP. So, you know, my inbox, my drafts, my everything, all this stuff will keep in sync on different computers. But the only thing that keeps in sync here with my regular ISP's email is it's POP. So it gets really confusing. Like if I send, like things I sent mail, that's all transferred because I copied the profile over. But if I send things from this laptop, it won't end up over there on any of my other machines using POP. So if you can, use IMAP. But it doesn't work right with my ISP email. I need to just quit using it and use another one. But I really don't want to use all my personal stuff, things that I think are important with, you know, like Gmail or Hotmail or whatever, or anything like that, or AOL or Yahoo, you know. I actually have three email accounts. I have 3 set up with my domain name, but GoDaddy's, they limit you on how many emails, that's who I use, and they limit you on how many emails you can send and receive, and their servers are wonky and they don't work half the time, so I don't use their servers. I receive through them, but I send through one of the other email accounts that I have, which causes confusion for me because, and other people, you know, whenever you write them from one email and then they write you back and then you hit reply and then it's coming from a different email address, they'll see that, you know. I'm toying with the idea of setting up. I don't really want to set up an email. I run a web server and have for years, quite a few years, for my website. And I have Fedora 23 on it, and I need to upgrade it. I may go to Debian because the machines I'm using are older. Like I'm using a single-core Celeron D. I'm looking at the machine. It's an IBM. It's real quiet, doesn't use too much electricity. Mostly being quiet's the main thing about that machine, what I like about it. It's just enough power to run a nice web server with a GUI front end. But it needs to be updated now. And so, but I don't think Fedora, after putting Fedora 25, it's on a dual-core laptop and it didn't run good, that I don't think I'm able to run Fedora. I'll have to go to Debian, which is easy to install. It'll be a little bit different in the back end of it, but that's probably what I'll end up doing. Anyway, got myself all sidetracked again. Yeah, that helped. Okay, it's not good, but it's you know, it's better than it was. So yeah, I was thinking I might. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and close my connection and open up again. That seems to help. Let's see. Close the connection. I'll even close the app. I tried this before last time and it didn't help, but let's try it again. Okay, remote desktop. I don't know why. It's probably that router. I guess I do know why. It's this router that it's on. It's always been pretty... I actually retired it and didn't use it for 2 or 3 years. It doesn't run very long without getting over the cache full and not getting overwhelmed. Might help to reboot it, but then I might jack everything up and lose my get the IP address might change or something because I'm using, you know, DNS servers on the routers, and I mean not dynamic IP servers on the routers, not DNS servers. That's for your web domain websites, but. Usually doesn't change unless there's another machine running or something like that. Or another machine comes in and gets that IP address while you're rebooting or something. It could be, you know, like a phone or something could do that though. Anyway, yeah, let's go back to Synaptic. If I can. I mean, I can do it, but I can't see it here. Okay, System Tools. Why is it Synaptic coming up in System Tools? Am I not seeing it or what? That's weird. Should be. It's not coming up. It should. It is not. Okay, so I have to go to System Administrator Synaptic. Let's see. It's usually, that's where it used to be in both places in Debian. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is look and see if TeamViewer Remote Desktop is available in Debian. Okay. Yeah, I wish, well, there is a way, like whenever I have my, if I work the laptop I was trying to do all this work on, then I could leave my, I can just leave it running with Fedora or Firefox running, and okay, no TeamViewer. So let's see what comes up under VNC. Probably be quite a bit. KRDC, KRFB. What is KRDC? Oh, it's a client. So I could probably run TeamViewer. Well, I have my backup drive plugged in. Let's see if I have a downloaded version on there. It'd be fairly new. Yeah, I've got a server, I've got a decent server up and running already. It's running Vino, that's my server, my VNC server, and then KFB is what makes it, turns it on and off for me without me having to go in and jack around with config files and everything. Okay, that's KRFB up there, that right there. Okay, so yeah, let's go into go back on my Seagate drive here, and let's go to my downloads folder. Just whoops, that's documents. And then over here on that side, we'll go to the 4.5 terabyte drive. And let's see, VNC. There it is, TeamViewer. I don't know, that needs to be moved over or something. Well, let's see. There we go, that's fine. Yeah, there's a deb file, 12, TeamViewer 12, let's see. 16, 17, I just want to make sure I get the newest one. Okay, that one's rather old, but I think it would update itself. Probably should just, well, yeah, since Debian's like it is, kind of staying behind, let's go ahead and just try that. I'm going to copy it over. You don't usually have to, well, there's no sense in copying it over, is there? No. Okay, you can run TeamViewer without even installing it on, usually, would that be it right there? Let's see. I don't think I necessarily need to do that. I mean, if I got a deb file, I'm going to open up this. I had actually saved the web page with the instructions and stuff. See if I can move that over to the other workspace where I like it to be. I don't know if it'll stay there. It should, yeah. Oh, it's XFCE. When you click on a file like that, it'll move the web browser back over to where you were at. Same window you were in, but in Mate it doesn't do that. Okay, how to install it. Older 64-bit deb systems without multi-arch. Oh, okay. So maybe I should go ahead and see about downloading. Yeah, run TeamViewer without installation. That's what I was getting at. But actually, I want to install it and then it'll update itself. Now, there's some commands to install it, but yeah, run it without installation. You just download the tar.gz file, the newest one, and then you can do TV setup checklibs to see if there's any missing dependencies or anything. But if you do install it from the dev file, then it'll install those things. And I just saw that little link up here, and this is actually local, but if I click on it, it should go to the website. I think it'll work. Yeah, it did. Okay, so did it go where I thought it would? Let's see. I don't know if it went where I wanted it to go. Download TeamViewer. Let's click on that. Go ahead and close that extra window. It should let me pick what. Yeah, it's already saw that I was on. Yeah, Ubuntu Debian. See, this is ridiculous. Ubuntu, that's what I call it, is built on Debian. So it should be Debian Ubuntu, not Ubuntu Debian. It's only people are starting to write that because Ubuntu is more popular. I can't stand Ubuntu. It invades your privacy. Every time you do a search on your desktop, it tracks everything you do. It sends you ads. It doesn't work. I never saw the Ubuntu system that would update itself without errors, not one time. Did it ever? I tried, and I did try it more, over the years, quite a few times. But most of all, I don't want anybody invading my personal desktop computer with ads and snooping and what I'm doing and everything else. So there you go. Red Hat, but it's like a lot of people don't even know about Debian, but they're using it. by using Ubuntu. It's a remix of Debian. It's nothing more than a remix. It's not a Linux distribution in itself. So that's what us, I guess I'm a purist, huh? I don't know. I don't really know for sure what that means. Alright, so there we go. Yeah, that's a dev file. TeamViewer dev 12, that's a newer one. So, and I always do this. I have this add-on in my browser called VirusTotal. I don't care where it's coming from. If I can scan it, I'm going to scan it before I download it. Okay. It says it's clean, so now in this particular instance it stayed open with this little menu here, and I can hit save the file as long as you don't get it off. Otherwise you'd have to highlight, right click, and say open link or open a new tab or whatever. But if this dialog stays up, then you can hit save file once it's scanned it. So you'd be surprised. Sometimes I use it all the time. You'd be surprised what sites will come up with 1 to 3 or 4, malware reports on them. Main thing is when you're actually downloading a file like I was just now. I do it with sites too now because things have gotten so bad. I don't do it every time I click on something, but if it's something I haven't been to before or in a while, get me a cough drop, I will do that. You can also right click on links. They don't always come up like that automatically, and I actually forgot, you can right click on buttons and links and say scan with VirusTotal like that. But anyway, if you're going to download a file, I always scan it first. It's beginning to slow down again, so I'm going to close the web browser. Maybe that'll help things a little bit. Okay, now actually I think I'll copy that. I think it's going to be a newer version. You should probably, since that was from 2016, see it wasn't the same version. It didn't try to override anything. Okay, well, you can usually just double click, but it's better really to say right click and say open with. Okay, so now it's not seeing. I want to just open it with Archive Manager. Let's see if we can get it to open with Synaptic. Let's see. Go down here. Let's see if it will run that way. I'm not going to say remember it, just this time anyway. Make sure. I'm not sure if it's so long since I've tried this in Debian. Make sure it's going to work. Yeah. Okay. So the action requested needs root privileges, and unlike Ubuntu, you don't have to fool around with all this sudo and all this junk and try to remember, well, does it want the root password or my regular password? No, it says root. It's going to say root when it's not going to ask you all this sudo stuff. And I think that using sudo is insecure, too insecure. Okay, so because it could be, I just think that it's more likely that someone could crack your regular user password than your root password for a lot of reasons. And if you got sudo set up in your system like that, then if they got your regular user password, then, or you may give it to them to let somebody borrow your machine. They got free reign, almost free reign on your system with just your regular user password. But if you keep it separate, only anything that could cause trouble needs root privileges, and every other thing is just your regular password. Then I think you're safer. So, well, it opened up Synaptic, but I don't see it trying to do anything. And I figured something out while I'm in here. I just saw that I couldn't find the installed packages, and it says community maintained right there. See if we can installed, but it doesn't show you all your installed packages. But if you say I made a custom, I don't remember where I did it. Oh, I did it in settings, repositories. I didn't. I forgot how I did it now. Maybe down here. I didn't. Man, I waited too long to take my cough drop. I'm starting to cough. Can't right click and do it. Oh, this is important, so I want to see if I can. Filters, there it is. Filters. New. And I made my little, and you were able to pick out of all these, which was simple, see? And I just said, all I want is installed. Clicked install and then named it. Cancel. So now I can see all my installed packages. See, the reason you want that is because if you do a, say you're on all and you do Thunderbird, like we just installed Thunderbird. Now you get everything that's related to Thunderbird. Oh, look, it went away. I was going to say then you can click on installed and sort it by. So used to you could do this really easily in all package managers. See, you very often when you do a search, you want to be able to sort by installed, but I can't do that. That's really weird. Something went crazy here. Search results, status, sections. Let's see, now there's one thing I hadn't mentioned. You can go by types, and that's something I was talking about. Groups, you might be able to. It's not really like Fedora's group installs. Fedora has this too, I think, and it used to anyway. I just never really used it. Say graphics. You wouldn't want to select all the graphics apps and install them. You're going to get a bunch of, you probably get conflicts, but you could look through there and pick things. I'm really getting beside myself here, but yeah, you can custom filters. Okay, let's do that search again. Okay, Thunderbird. You should be able to do that. Okay, search results, custom filters. It's not working like I wanted it to. So I don't know. I guess they've changed things up. But look at status. Okay. Manual, installed manual. That's what I'm probably going to have to try to do here. Before I go into all that, whoops. Yeah, I'm having to relearn some of these things I've forgotten. Yeah, double clicking on, well, that just lets you go into that folder. It's automatically, may take a while. See, it says reading down there. Take a little while, but you'll be able to see the contents of the folder. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's what would happen in Crusader if you just double click on it. So you have to right click and see the only one listed in this domain system is the archive manager. Well, that's not really going to help me, is it? Let's open it up and see. Maybe it's not going to give you the option to install from it. It'll just give you the option to extract it. Used to could just double click on a deb file in Debian and it would say it'd start installing it, or you could at least set it up that way. You could just go to properties and the file type options. There's just not, maybe there's some packages that aren't installed in this system that I need that's going to do that. Maybe it's because I don't have, I noticed when I was in here, there's another app called Apper. Used to be the default for Fedora, and I noticed it was in here. There it is right there. Freezing package kit. I don't see how that would help. Let's see. Let's visit the home page before we get all install happy here and install something that'll just give me headaches. I clicked over there on the other desktop so it would open up where I wanted it to be. It should work. Or it could just not ever open up, huh? Hasn't opened up yet. Synaptic's and not where I want it. Move right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and open up Firefox. It may just be taking a while to open up. There we go. When you got two home pages, sometimes it makes it take too long when you're in a hurry. See, it's not super fast, is it? Well, no, I'm looking over at the laptop. It is a bit slow. It's not. I'm not far behind what's going on the screen over there. See if that's going to work this time. I think maybe it's going to work because it's. Well, no, it's not. It's not working. It's not trying. It's not even trying to open it up for me. Anyway, it's not that important, especially if it's not going to work good. I need those two open. Okay, Apper. Dbus interface, e.g. Cache updating. See, it's a lot of things besides just adding and removing programs, and that's why I didn't really want to have. I don't use it anymore on Fedora, so I used to just install everything I thought was interesting, and sometimes they kind of fight with each other, and so I don't really want to do that. It's really the one. It's really built for KDE. Okay, so let's do this. I didn't think about that. Let's see if there's anything else I need to install for Synaptic that will help it do that. Okay, there's Synaptic. That's the main package manager. Input Synaptics. That's really not. That's X servers or something. Synaptics. Python Brain simulator for neural networks. Package kit again. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, let's. I didn't read the whole thing. Oh, it's meant to replace tools. Not meant to replace advanced tools like Synaptic. It might be okay to install it, and then app catcher. Let's see what that is. I can't. My throat. I started coughing. I'm not talking as much. I can't read things loud good anyway, so you have to read along for yourself, I guess. At least here in this window, you should be able to read it. Okay, this is going to be caching what your apps that you download. I did that one time, filled up my hard drive. I knew there was an app that would do that. I don't want that. But I think maybe Package Kit might actually do what I want to do. Let me think. Yeah, that's the only way I can see that I'm going to get this to. If it doesn't work, it's going to install all that stuff. But I'm going to do it. And let's see if that'll make me be able to install my deb files like I used to. I may be all wet and funny. I should have searched for deb and see if there was probably hundreds and hundreds. Well, yeah, that wouldn't work. Something like I probably should have. Oh, there's something in Synaptic to do that, isn't there? Darn it. Oh well, I'd like it to be automatic anyway. Well, I've got it. It's not gonna. I don't think it'll break anything. Pretty sure I've done it before, but I think what I should have done was somewhere I saw something about custom or something. Origin. Yeah, local main. Stable. So what I might need to do is just like no, that's not it. You might be able to add like your downloads folder is what I was thinking. But let's close Synaptic since my machine is so likely to act up. No. let's just type in app, or you can also do that, and I think that's right. See if it'll do it. Just as long as you don't hit remember it, and you'll jack things up. Okay, that's not going to work. Oh, wait, it's not doing anything. It must be thinking. Unless I messed something up. Oh, there's an error that's not showing up. It says apper not found. It's not, there it is, it's behind. Over there on the laptop it was in front, but over here it was behind. That's weird. Never seen that happen before. Okay, let's hit cancel and try it again. Okay, this time I'm going to go to, I guess, system and look for apper. Utilities. Let's look for, let's just look through each one. Domain, applications. I'm not seeing apper anywhere. You may might have to go through a reboot before it'll go into that menu there. So, well, let's close. Could be because I need to close and reopen. Let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and get that started. Reopen Crusader, but let me look at my live feed again. Make sure everything is good there. Yeah, what I had going before is I would just leave that live feed window open on my laptop, and then I could also just glance over there and see if anybody had tried to say hello or anything. And okay, so nobody there, everything's still good. Okay. Let's go back over here. Now let's see if it shows up any other. No. But it could have refreshed these menus, so let's see. Synaptic. I did that and it opened up Synaptic all right, but it didn't do anything. Now with Fedora, you just right click and then you can have the choice of all the package managers that are on the system. Sometimes apper will work and sometimes yum would work. And sometimes either one of them would work, depending on, I guess it's depending on how the applications were written. Not even seeing apper at all. And when I typed it in there, it didn't. Got Python on there. I don't know. There's a few applications that actually won't show up to the system until you've rebooted. Not a lot, but let's see if it's in the applications list. Okay, I don't see it there. Let's see if it's up in here. It's not showing up, so I guess that's what it is. Well, let's try. I'm going to try Synaptic again before I get into all that, back into all that. Well, I'm going to say other, and what I'm going to do is type in Synaptic. I typed in Synaptic and hit enter, and so far nothing's happening. Okay, there we go. Synaptic not found. So this one doesn't work that easily like that. I probably have to type in like the exact right command. And in Fedora, you don't have to use most of the time. So that's one thing. Okay, I'm going to open up Synaptic and see if I can see how they expect you to do it instead of the way I was trying to go around the back door and do it. Let's see. Origin. Okay. What I want to do then is it's usually on status, so let's leave it on status. Okay. Installed. Now that says just plain old installed if you're on status. So it's a little different than add downloaded packages. Add packages downloaded with the generate package download script feature to the system. Okay, I think maybe this will do it for me. Well, that's out of root though, so you want to go to computer, home, Don. That's the thing when you between the root folder. That's the root folder, the root user folder, but it's not the root directory of the whole system. That's why the whole root thing can get confusing. There it is. Now let's see if it will. It's not showing up as the one that can be used. That's not allowed. That said generate a package download. Add downloaded packages. Maybe I clicked on the wrong one. Let's try this again. Maybe I didn't do it right. Yeah, I did do it right. Okay. Generate a package download script. Well, I don't want to do that. I don't even know. I don't know about that. I've never done that before in Synaptic. Should be something I would think that would say, you know, install from a package you've downloaded, something like that. Package. Let's go to repositories and see if there's a way to. I remember you could actually add a CD on your CD drive, you know, as a repository if you wanted to. Yeah, there it is right there. That's the one I installed it from. See, it remembers it, but it's not selected, you know, and it wouldn't want it to be because it's not there anymore. Well, I guess you can say new. Binary deb, URI, deb src, okay. But that's not going to help me in this case, I don't think. I was thinking, well, I could add, I mean, I might could say home Don downloads, but we can try it. Don't give up yet. Oh, got off the machine. Okay, so I'll go over here and I'll just see if I can copy that. Now with Crusader, if you try to right click and copy, it'll go away, but if you use Control-C, it usually gets it. Let's see if it got it. Oh, and of course now it's starting to not respond on me. Okay. URI, yeah, it got it. I'm going to do it like that and then put a space in there. Let's see if that'll work. Malformed. So it's going to have to be like probably on the internet. Hit cancel. And let's see. Repositories, yeah, I think it went back to normal. Okay, cancel. All right, so I don't really know if there is. Whoa, that crashed it. Set internal option. Don't click on that. I don't know if there's a way to do it with Debian, Synaptic or not, but I'm going to try rebooting this machine and see if Apper will show up and work. So let's get over here on the machine. Since I'm going to reboot it, then let's go back to my desktop. I forgot I'm using remote desktop. Go ahead and reboot it from here. There we go. Close that app. Now, if we hurry, we can watch it reboot on the camera. I may end up having to quit. If my voice goes away, I'll have to quit. Don't really need to be making super long videos anyway, and I know it was an hour and 30 minutes. I saw that. People don't like to watch long videos. I think it's better if you break them up. An hour is pretty much the max I'll watch. I'll watch an hour if it's something I'm interested in. But mostly I prefer them to be 30 minutes, 10 to 30 minutes. Depends on what it is. Some things I want it to be 30 minutes to show everything that, you know, well, but some things you can kind of tell it, you know, and show it in 10 minutes. It's hard to do that. I can't hardly do it. Should be rebooting. It's a bit slow, though. Let's see if it has went black on me or something. Get the mouse. I think it's still working on it. It would be terrible if I broke something by just installing that app or thing. That'd be really bad. Of course, as new as the system is, I'd probably just reinstall it. That's the thing. I mean, Debian's a great system, but you know, if you don't use it all the time, you forget how all the ins and outs, and I don't. So, you know, on a system I want to use a lot that can handle Fedora, I usually just go with Fedora. It seems to be hung up. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hard shut it down. It shouldn't, well, I kind of hate to. It could be that it's just taking a while because, you know, well, because of those installs and Apper and all that. If they actually, it shouldn't, really shouldn't, but, you know, sometimes there's something going on. I don't believe that the Debian sets automatic. I haven't dealt with that yet, but the automatic updates, I don't think they're turned on by default. So I don't think there's any, you know, kernel updates. You definitely wouldn't want to break, you know, interrupt the kernel update or something. But, well, the updates usually start getting installed when it's booting back up. And it just went dark like that. Of course, it doesn't look dark to you. You can see my reflection in it. But to me, it's just like a milky black mixture of white and black, really. And usually that means it ain't going to do anything. But sometimes if you wait a few more minutes, it will. And all the time you can just go ahead and hard shut down and start back up and you're fine. But since I did just get through doing a bunch of install or a couple of installs, I really kind of hate to do that. But I'm getting to where I'm going to get tired of waiting. So let's do it. Yeah, when it jumped, I say it went right down instantly. And when that laptop does that, you know that it wasn't going to ever do anything. If you had to hold a button down for 4 seconds to get it to shut down, it was still working and thinking. It could be a hardware issue that causes that on that laptop. It does do that once in a while, not real often, but it does do it. So it should come back up. If I broke it, I'll be mad. It's back to where it was. Oh, I know what's wrong. Here's what's wrong. I will show you. I know exactly what's wrong. Nobody panic. It's all good. It's just that I forgot to unplug my USB backup drive. And this laptop will always try to boot to a USB device if it's plugged in. And usually what happens, my USB sticks all have boot systems on them, so it just boots to that. And I'm like, oh, whoops, this is what's wrong. It had rebooted so fast I didn't catch it. So instead of, fiddling around, I'm going to get back on like the main view or whatever. But I'm going to hard shut it down, or just hit the button. It's not hard shutting it down because it's just hung. I'm going to turn it off and unplug that. Oh, I guess you could see that wiggling around there. I almost messed everything up, didn't I? All right, camera. Action. Live. Camera. Action. There we go. Silly boy. All right. That's what Dr. Who's wife called him. That girl from ER. Okay, so we'll be booting back up. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm really kind of shooting in the dark. I've got Debian on 2 systems out in the garage, but I really just once in a while go out there and use them to remote desktop into here. So, if I want to look up something on Google when I'm outside working on something. I don't fool around with doing much with them, It's really hard for me to type like that. I get tired of moving that keyboard around, that wireless keyboard. So I leave it up there where it is. And but when I don't like to move the mic around because that makes noise. But if I don't move it, then my neck is right on the mic and I can't reach the keyboard. All right, so I'll have to leave it like that till I get my remote desktop back up and going. Let's see. That'd be an internet, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think so. Okay. It did the same thing again. I really don't like being, I don't, really need to have that. I bet it lost my, see that, if you haven't typed in there yet, if you haven't typed in that password yet, then I think that's what it is. It doesn't, the KRFB doesn't work right. Okay, I clicked on that before. I don't know if that saved me from having to re-enter my passwords again or what. Let's find out. Get back on my desktop screencast here. Connect up. I guess it's gone. I don't know why it's doing that. I had it to where it was saving that password. Maybe I need to pay more attention to the settings. Let's see. Let's go back to that machine on the camera. It could be that it's somewhere in the settings. Evidently, somewhere in the settings, it's not telling it to save that password. Got to click in there first. Now let's go see if I can log into it. Okay. Now that I don't use, and even if you got my IP and tried to use that, then I would still have to say okay and let you in. So I use the unattended version down here, and that doesn't show up. Now let's look in the settings. Announce the service. Use default port. Allow remote connections. Okay, so there's nothing there that tells it whether or not to save, but it should be saving this password. It used to. Maybe because I shut it down normally. I didn't hard shut it down or anything. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it'll be there between reboots, and sometimes it won't. It really seems random. I don't like that at all. All right. I don't know what to do about it, though. Synaptic. Still don't see Apper. Maybe there was no GUI with this particular version of Apper that's on that I just installed. That's another possibility. So, unless, now, I don't remember. There's ways you can add things to the panel, you know, to the applications list if they're not showing up. But I don't know why that's not. That's my refresh rate problem there. Coming back to haunt me. I was trying to install TeamViewer to solve that problem, wasn't I? All right. Well, the best way I know to kind of clear that is to disconnect and reconnect. Yeah, I was trying to solve that problem when I got into all this other mess. Okay, so if I open up a terminal window, see if Apper will run. Apper does not even run. Okay, let's go back into Synaptic and see what happened with Apper. I used to install deb files in Debian systems all the time. I don't remember. I don't know why it doesn't just work like it used to. You used to just could just double click on them. You didn't even have to right click and say, you know, so and so, so and so. Huh. It seems like it would work, but it doesn't. Maybe I need the deb src. Maybe that's what they're for. Huh. That's really weird. Okay, so let's look in the preferences again. I don't see anything that would help me there. Okay. I guess I can just run it in portable mode. That's not really too hard. Usually. Okay, now. Am I out of options? Oh, yeah, Apper. Let's search for Apper. I want to see what's going on and what's installed there with Apper. Well, it doesn't look like it installed. Huh. That would be a good reason why. Oh, package kit. That's a whole different application. Wow, that's a big difference with the name. Package kit and Apper. I bet if you were watching this, you were going, you dummy, the whole time. This whole time you knew what was going on. Why didn't you tell me? I guess if I'd monitor my feed, maybe somebody could tell me. Well, I will when I can. Because I just don't have enough system resources to do that right now. Okay, so that's what happened. I'm going to install Apper. That's a GUI app. And actually, I think it works with Package Kit. I think it's exactly what it was made to control. Okay, now I won't install any other junk, I don't think. Yeah, I don't want to get install happy and start making things problematic. So I install Package Kit and then go looking for Apper. Really smart. This is what happens when your brain don't work. This is what happened when you're, what was that? They always, in that commercial, when I was a kid in the 60s growing up, they had a commercial where they would drop an egg in a frying pan. And they'd say, this is what happens when your brain's on drugs. Fry your brain. So, but I didn't take drugs. Never do that. I never did any of that stuff. But I do have to take my blood pressure medicine and all that kind of junk, so that stuff don't make you feel good. Okay, so when this gets installed, I'm on my desktop, yep. We'll look for Apper, and we'll see if we can, actually I'll right click on that deb file and see if it will let me install it. Guess we could look at the details for something fun to do. So here's what happens if you watch the terminal window, and it's a view only. Like I said before, you can try it if you want. It won't let you type in there. Okay, I believe it's done. Yeah, success. Okay. And whenever make sure you wait for it to refresh before you go to closing the app. Yeah, we got Apper and App Data. Yeah, I don't think there's a bunch of other stuff that's got to do with that. So now we're going to open up. See, it's a pretty quick system. Home down documents. Why is there a problem there? Oh, the CBAG expansion drive. Yeah, it's not plugged in. Well, it's a good thing I copied that over there now, isn't it? I'll leave it like it is for now, unplugged. There it is, Apper installer. Now let's see if it'll work. Oh, looky here. Wants to install a package. This must have been how it was always done. But I don't remember ever having to install this myself. There's a problem. Oh, it's i386, and this is a 64-bit. Oh. That's what happened. Yeah, you know, I tried to get TeamViewer to work on Fedora, and it wouldn't work. Let me plug that drive back in. It should give me quick access to that download page once that gets loaded up. We'll go see it. I think I accidentally moved the laptop a little bit. Well, no, not a lot. Not enough to hurt. What is hurting is my remote desktop screen, isn't it? Disconnect again, I guess. Seems to be the only thing that helps a little bit. I could try messing with the resolution. Actually, what I probably should do is reboot that router that it's on. But I did do that last time and it didn't help at all. As a matter of fact, if anything, it just seemed maybe even worse. So downloads, let's go ahead and go into the big drive again. Let's see, yeah. Oh, I have two different folders, one for the version 11 and one for version 12. Now that's an i386, that one that I don't know if they have a 686 version. New version, that's what, oh, that's a screenshot. I'll open up that page. I'll open up both pages, and then maybe one of them will give me a way to go where I want to go. Well, I'll open up one at a time then. Let's see. Really, all I want to do is go to their website and see what's the newest thing and see if they have a 64-bit. That it would not work on Fedora 25 64-bit. Oh, that's right. It wouldn't work at all because TeamViewer remote. Let's do this. Oh, I just saw. Just saw the bang. Now where'd it go? I didn't roll it that far. There it is. Okay. It says 64, 32, 64-bit. For modern Deb systems, Debian meant Ubuntu, K, Ubuntu X, Ubuntu. See, they put Debian first like it should be. That's what I had. Graphical installer. Oh, wait, what's this? Older Deb systems. Debian 6. Well, I'm Debian 8, so AMD 64. It should work. Okay, let's click on this graphical installation. All I did was take me back up there. Double click on the download package. Yep. Okay, let's open up that other page because it had a big link to the download. I mean, yeah, this one here. And it'll take me to, it's like the same page. I click on the wrong one. Yeah, okay. This is the one that had my links. Let's go down there to running it without installing it, but I don't, yeah, that's a 386 though. Now, I'll use this little link here. Yeah, it says i386, but it wouldn't run. Maybe I somehow got to the wrong one though. I'm going to go ahead and download this one and see. I think it's the same thing though. Go ahead and scan it again to make sure it's okay. I don't know what that date says. I'm just going to do it again, make sure it's okay. Might have already done it today if it's the same file I already downloaded. Alright, now let's download it again. Close all these extra. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There. Okay, now let's see. First I'm going to try copying that over and see if it's the same file that I already downloaded. Overwrite. Yeah, I'm just going to overwrite it. Okay, so that's the one I just tried. It's not going to work then. Oops, double clicking doesn't work. I knew that. That's because Crusader defaults to unpacking and viewing it. There it is. Yeah, that's not going to help. Right click. I'm going to try one more time. Open with Apper. Trying to install it. Let's make sure I'm still on my. Yeah, I'm not showing the camera or something. It says an error, and it cannot be installed. Okay. Huh. I guess I could try the what they call the older. Now I guess I'm not working again. Okay, we'll do that again. I don't know if I can lower the resolution or something to, you know, give less data for it, but to be trying to transfer, but that's another thing to figure out. All right, so where does it say the older version? Right there. I want to see if that would work, see if it's possible. Okay, save that one. Won't really hurt to have an extra. That one there, you can't see it all, but let's see if we can. It's harder to do this. Yeah, there we go. And on the remote desktop. AMD, let's try that. I'm going to copy it over. I might need it for my other machines out in the garage. I bet it would run on them. Well, they're 32-bit, though. Open with Apper. Nope. Another error. Missing a dependency. Huh. Well, I'm definitely not going to keep on trying to do that. I don't want to mess things up. Okay, so no TeamViewer. If the, I mean, I could try TeamViewer Live. I'll see if if they have a new version of Live. Not Live. Cancel. I don't know what I did. TeamViewer without installation. There we go. Yeah, tar.gz. You run it. You don't even have to be root. That's easy to do, actually. Done that before. Now, where was that link to get me to the website? There we go. Oh, okay. I clicked on Debian right there. There's Debian 6, but I'm running Debian 8.8. So. Oh yeah, and then I clicked on download. I'm getting to where I'm going to have to take a break no matter what it looks like. Yeah, see that says 32-bit, 64-bit multi-architecture, other systems. And that's the one that didn't work. It should have, but it didn't. But I'm going to try this one. This time it's a little bit different menu. It comes up, but scan with virus total. Well, I think it's the same thing with a different size. And see, this time the little window went away completely. That's what I was talking about before. And it's not refreshing good. Well, I'm going to have to go ahead and take a break. I will come back though and finish this up as soon as I have my little break. All right, this is Don. I'll be back.